The strongest exorcist in the world is murdered by jealous members of the imperial court due to his incredible power, but casts a spell of rebirth on himself to have a second chance at a better life. He awakens in an alternate world as Psyche, son of the noble Blaise Lambrogue, but cannot use this world's form of magic. However, Psyche has retained his exorcist powers and demon servants but hides this from his family as he hopes to cultivate a happier life by becoming more cunning than his previous life. One of his brother Gray bullies him as Psyche was born from Blaise's mistress and can't use magic. His other brother Luft is kinder, but his only friend is the family slave Aoife. After learning about the Lodonia Magic Academy, Psyche uses his power over the 6 elements: water, fire, earth, air, light, and shadow to simulate magical power, so Blaise lets him study magic. Psyche discovers Aoife can use magic by commanding the spirits of nature, so he trains her in secret. An elder nude attacks a nearby city and rampages all the way to their mansion. In front of dozens of witnesses, Gray hides like a coward, but Psyche kills the monster with a poison curse disguised as fire magic. Blaise offers Psyche a reward, so he asks to attend Lodonia with Aoife. Gray protests that he was supposed to attend Lodonia. Blaise decides Gray will instead enlist in the army. Luft is proud of Psyche and gives him a pin as a leaving gift. Gray challenges Psyche for the place at Lodonia but is easily defeated. Psyche is revealed to have cunningly arranged this outcome by sending a demon servant to provoke the elder newt to attack. As Psyche and Aoife depart for the academy, Blaise recalls Psyche isn't actually his son but his nephew, the son of his brother Gilbert who disappeared in demon territory. Blaise has long suspected Psyche's mother was a demoness, meaning Psyche has potential to become the next demon king, though he hopes Lodonia will be the right environment to prevent this. With Psyche now her owner, Aoife expects to join him in bed, but he shows no interest. At the entrance exam, Psyche encounters Amu, a commoner girl with powerful magical abilities. Psyche is surprised as Amu is identical to his apprentice from his previous life who was pressured by the imperial court into killing him. At the practical exam, Aoife and Psyche outperform everyone except Amu, who scores highest with all 4 elements, plus light and dark magic, causing her instructors to suspect she is the next hero. Aoife is disappointed. She is expected to live in the girls' dormitory and won't be allowed to serve Psyche or enter the boys' dormitory. Psyche notices a dark magic circle on academy grounds and leaves several talismans to keep an eye on it. During the opening ceremony, the circle summons 3 lesser demons to attack the academy. Psyche slips away to confront the circle's creator, a devil named Galios. Free of witnesses, Psyche is able to freely use his exorcist powers and manipulates Galios into revealing he is trying to kill the hero. Psyche easily defeats Galios, then feeds him alive to one of his demon servants, Mizuchi the dragon. Psyche finds that due to not having all his old strength, Mizuchi actually tries to kill him before being sealed away again. Amu kills the lesser demons, but this only causes people to regard her with fear and mistrust due to her power. Psyche is pleased by this, hoping that by becoming the hero's friend, he will stand out less compared to her and attract fewer enemies. Despite Psyche's efforts, Amu has no interest in being friends. Psyche and Aoife narrowly avoid being doused in demon blood by clumsy teacher Cordell. Amu and Psyche trip a magic circle trap and are transported into a nearby dungeon. Amu is knocked unconscious by trolls, allowing Psyche to freely summon a demon servant, the giant centipede, to kill them. Awoken, Amu is grateful for the help but reveals she has a headache. Psyche identifies this as a potentially fatal curse which he transfers onto one of his talismans, saving Amu's life. Grateful, Amu is shown to have a lewd sense of humor and a passion for fighting that most people find disturbing, though Psyche assures her all passions have uses. After defeating the dungeon boss, they loot a mithril sword for Amu and a magic ring. After returning to the academy, Psyche secretly confronts Cordell, revealed to be a devil's servant sent to assassinate Amu with a demon blood curse. Psyche uses the substitute talisman to reflect Amu's curse back on Cordell, killing him. Psyche gives the dungeon ring to Aoife, confirming it increases her control over spirits. Amu returns to treating Psyche coldly, becoming friends with Aoife instead. A whole year later, Psyche, Amu, and Aoife are best friends, and there have been no further attempts to assassinate Amu. The Academy's principal asks Psyche to participate in a combat tournament in Capital City, along with new student Mabel Crane. Amu is upset she wasn't chosen, but principal insists on Psyche and Mabel due to an ulterior motive. Mabel later provokes Amu and defeats her in a sword duel, humiliating her. She also warns Saika that the tournament involves real combat, so participants frequently die. Arriving in Capital City, Saika has his first match and defeats mercenary swordsman Dennis with a talisman disguised as wind magic. Joining Aoife and Amu in the audience, Saika watches a match between Belen, a student from another academy, and Kyle, a bodyguard from the Rug Rock Merchants Association. The audience is horrified as Kyle mercilessly kills Belen, who makes no attempt to defend himself. With his expertise in curses, Saika realizes Belen had actually been paralyzed by Kyle's cursed evil eye, making the killing even worse as the paralysis by itself was enough to win the match. Saika suspects Kyle may be a merchant's assassin. After Mabel wins her first match, Saika is intrigued when the audience begin referring to Mabel as the hero. That night, Saika captures a demon's human spy and interrogates him with his psychic demon servant, Satori, learning he was sent to spy on Mabel, whom the demons also believe to be the hero from her birth date and red hair. After letting Satori eat the spy alive, Saika is left confused. Amu is undoubtedly the hero, so he suspects Mabel is at the center of a conspiracy to make her appear to be the hero, attracting the demon's attention away from Amu. Kyle wins his next match with another merciless killing. The young knight Rhaenys becomes popular with the audience. Mabel warns Saika she absolutely must win the tournament, so he must forfeit or she will have to kill him in the semifinals. Kyle almost kills Rhaenys but is stopped by the judges, who declare Kyle the winner just in time. Saika notices Kyle uses gravity magic just like Mabel. That night, Mabel attacks Saika in his room and flees after failing to kill him. Intrigued, Saika chases her. Saika deduces Mabel was just trying to injure him enough he forfeited the tournament. Mabel confirms she and Kyle are slave soldiers from the Merchants Association who ordered Mabel to let Kyle kill her, letting the demons believe the hero had died while also demonstrating Kyle's value. During his training, his brain was engraved with magic to make him a perfect soldier, and if he kills the hero, he will prove his value. Saika deduces Mabel is Kyle's sister, having dyed her hair to pose as the hero, and she actually intends to kill Kyle to end his suffering. Deciding he can't let Mabel kill her own brother, Saika defeats Mabel in their match, and then afterwards defeats Kyle, who asks Saika for Mabel's forgiveness, but a curse from the merchants kills Kyle for his failure. After Kyle's funeral, Saika convinces Mabel to attend the academy as a real student. Saika congratulates the principal for her scheme, knowing Saika would win, thus depriving the merchants of Kyle and gaining Mabel as a powerful student. Mabel returns to her original silver hair but is horrified by Saika and Aoife's sadistic tutoring to make up for being a whole year behind her classmates. Saika is asked to investigate the strange behavior of the neighboring Astelia Kingdom's guardian dragon, which has protected Astelia since a past queen helped raise it. Astelia's Prince Cecilio, who is rather airhead, is entranced by Aoife and invites her to join his kingdom's harem. Saika decides to let Aoife choose on her own, since joining a royal harem is a rare honor. Arriving in Astelia, the dragon attacks their carriage but is driven away by Zect, an arrogant mage mercenary Cecilio hired. Saika scolds Aoife for freezing during the attack when she is capable of defending herself. After investigating Astelia's royal library, Saika learns the dragon became violent once before when he and his wife had a baby, which doesn't explain his current violence since his wife died decades ago. That night, Cecilio summons Aoife to his room, but she refuses and sleeps in Saika's bed, too scared to be alone. She feels worse when Saika reminds her the harem might be good for her future, even though she is clearly in love with Saika. Cecilio resorts to offering to buy Aoife as she is technically a slave, but Saika refuses. Saika decides to visit the dragon's nest himself. Cecilio's elf attendant, Lisa, reveals to Aoife she must have an elf ancestor to use spirit magic. Saika finds the dragon is violent due to having an egg, having become female after his wife's death. Lisa shows Aoife the harem is actually a university for young ladies. One may become queen one day, but most become government officials. The dragon lets Saika help care for the egg. Aoife decides to remain with Saika, but Cecilio tries to force Aoife to sign all the legal papers, assuming he can just pay Saika for her later. Saika suddenly appears with the dragon and rescues her. Aoife helps Saika capture Zect, who tried to steal the egg to sell it. Cecilio decides to have the dragon killed anyway, hoping such a bold decision will strengthen his chance of becoming king. Fed up of Cecilio's idiocy, Saika thoroughly scolds him over his treatment of Aoife. Lisa actually agrees and apologizes to Saika and Aoife. Cecilio is ashamed and lets the dragon live. Lisa gives Aoife several light spirits that provide healing magic. They return to the academy, but elsewhere a team of 5 powerful demons set out to finally kill the hero. Saika's father asks to meet Amyu. Saika is certain politics is involved. Gray reveals he loves it in the army but still demands a rematch with Saika. Amyu duels Gray instead, but Gray wins by a trick. Gray introduces Fiona, the kingdom's holy princess. Saika is again worried about politics as Fiona is daughter to the emperor and his mistress the oracle priestess. Saika realizes Fiona resembles his wife from his past life. Saika is actually surprised his stepmother, who ignored him all his life, asks him to stay in touch. Amyu asks Saika about his plans after graduation and is surprised he intends to go adventuring with her. Fiona visits the nearby town and is curious about romance, holding Saika's hand all day. Fiona is almost hurt by falling timber but is saved by Gray and Amyu, though she seems upset Saika did nothing. Gray reveals to Saika that Fiona is a shrewd politician who inherited her mother's magic to see glimpses of the future. Despite being child of a mistress, she has schemed her way into becoming a royal heir and may become empress one day. She is also plotting something that involves both Amyu and Saika. Saika avoids Fiona, cautious that her future visions may cause problems. Later, he relents and plays chess with Fiona, who wins even though she willingly played with fewer pieces, and as her prize asks Saika for a future favor. From her play style, Saika learns she doesn't support the current political system and is purposefully making herself popular with the general public. Saika decides to support her. Elsewhere, the demons defeat a group of bandits and eat them, revealing their identities: Zor the devil god, Mutarev the strongest ogre, Lo-En-I the monster tamer, Persleria the evil eye, and Golganis the devil. On their return to the academy, assassins disguised as bandits attack the carriages to kill Fiona, but with Saika's assistance the assassins are captured alive. Fiona had foreseen the attack and will use the assassins' confessions against her political enemies. The assassins await help from their reinforcements, but Fiona had foreseen the reinforcements being eaten by the demons. Fiona arrives home and cryptically asks Saika to remember no matter her actions she is always on his side. Zor regrets having to hide from his team. Their goal of killing the hero is almost certainly a suicide mission. Principal elects Saika as student representative to welcome the next first-year students. Saika decides to abandon his fear of drawing attention after dealing with the approaching demons. The demons arrive at the academy to slaughter the hero, but find the academy covered in a confusing red fog. Zor decides to abandon the mission, only for Saika to appear. Zor, who can see people's power, is terrified by Saika, who beheads Mutarev. Persleria's evil eye is defeated by demon servant Whitesnake, whose own evil eye stops her heart. Lo-En-I attempts to tame Whitesnake but is eaten. Zor reveals Saika bears the title Most Terrible Demon King, hoping Golganis will escape to tell the other demons the prophesized Demon King is an ally of humanity. Zor is obliterated by Saika's fire magic and Golganis teleports away but dies when Saika uses a substitution talisman to stab him through the heart. Mabel, who saw everything, promises Saika she will keep it secret. At the ceremony to welcome new students, the Dirac Knights of Marquis Greville announce Amyu is under arrest for murdering a demon emissary who, at the time of his death, was visiting the academy under diplomatic immunity. Saika advises Amyu to submit to imprisonment temporarily. Principal confirms politicians likely want the hero gone. Saika invades the imperial prison, slaughters the soldiers, and finds Amyu. Amyu naively believes her innocence would be proven, so Saika reveals to her she is the hero, so her innocence is irrelevant as her enemies will kill her regardless. Gray and Fiona appear and admit to plotting Amyu's death. Humans and demons are currently in a stalemate, so the existence of a hero could restart the war, so it is better for Amyu to die. However, due to Saika protecting her, Amyu has not yet had to unlock her hero abilities, so Fiona offers to return them to the academy. Saika realizes this was what Fiona had cleverly planned all along and never intended Amyu to be killed, so he decides they will leave the academy and go far away instead. Amyu regrets not returning to the academy but looks forward to starting their careers as adventurers. Fiona talks with an entity hiding in her shadow, revealing she knows Saika is the Demon King and will give his life to protect the hero. She also arranges for Ifa and Mabel to join Saika and Amyu and begin adventuring as a team. This is the end of anime. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time.